Well, the Jets are not playing very good hockey as of late. That game against the Rangers on Tuesday was exactly the type of game the Jets needed to play, and it was a great performance. And then you go into New Jersey and, quite frankly, shit the bed. And what do when you go into this game against the Islanders? You lose it again. This is a team that's lost 6 in a row, and they're able to come in and beat you 6-3. And that score is not a real good representation of how this game was. The Jets were able to, muster something at the end of that third period there when the Islanders really just stopped really caring and played very passive hockey, and they did juggle some lines, and yes, they were able to score a couple goals, but at the end of the day, that game was terrible, and the play that the Jets have been on lately is terrible. Brendan Dillon called them out after that New Jersey game. And this was the response. You have a veteran defenseman out there, a guy who's pretty well respected and a leader of this team, and he's saying that about this, and then this is the effort you get in. And, a lot of people have been complaining about Rick Bowness and, the lines and all this type of stuff and the struggling of the 5-on-5, and I get those concerns. They're very valid. But I think this game showed that there's something going on right now that, I don't think the coaches really have any control over, to be quite frank. And it's kind of concerning. We're going into the stretch right now, and the Jets are not playing good hockey. They're playing inconsistent hockey, and, I'm not like some out there who think that everything's imploding. They're going to be a first round knockout and all this crap. I still believe in this team, but this is cause for concern, without a doubt. The Jets have struggled a bit since the All-Star game. That's well known. They've struggled in areas of 5-on-5 play and the power play for a while. Power play heated up a bit. They made some good acquisitions at the deadline. Monahan's fitted well and got that power play going, but now you're coming down the stretch. These guys are starting to settle in, and this is the effort that you're getting. Now, I hope that late surge from the Jets in that terrible game against the Islanders, might propel them in the right direction going into tomorrow's game against the Capitals. But at the end of the day, this is it. I'm not happy right now with this team. This is the first time all season long where I can honestly say that I am kind of annoyed and pretty pissed off at the performance that we're getting and the response that this team's putting out there on a nightly basis, down the stretch. They have a chance to win the Central. The Central is very close right now. Now, obviously, when you go and you look at things, because of the fact that the Jets played a matinee game today, we don't really know what the standings will look like probably at the end of the day exactly, but as of right now, and what they probably will look like, or similar to, is the Jets sitting in third place in the Central, where they were first not too long ago, and you have Nashville, it's creeping up with 86 points, and if the Jets keep playing the way they're playing, and the way Nashville's been playing as of late, that doesn't look good, and, it's not all panic mode just yet, because the Jets have 70 games played, Colorado has 70 games played, they still have one up on Dallas, and they're only 2 points back, but the thing is, Colorado and Dallas are surging to the end of the season right now. They're playing the best hockey they've played all year long. They're great right now. And the Jets are kind of flailing. And that, in my opinion, is why I am nervous about this and why I am, quite frankly, upset by the effort that this team is putting out. Because at the end of the day, that's what's costing them this game. And these last couple of games, and going back even further, that Nashville game was a big test game for them against a hot team right now, a team that they could potentially face in the playoffs. And that was the effort they put out, right? There have been so many little warning signs that we've seen since the All-Star break. And they're starting to all kind of come together right now in bad losses. And this team just can't, they find a way to win on Tuesday in a great performance, and then they completely shit the bed on 2 games that they need to win to stay in this race right now for first in the Central. And let's be quite frank, the Jets need to still be in this race because they have to prove this to themselves. This is what their whole goal has been all year long. The message from the coaching staff, the players, what they put out there, everything has been, we need to, keep playing. We need to improve. We need to, show to ourselves that we can keep doing this. And they're not right now. They're struggling immensely. And like I said, there was some promise at the end of that game. Perfetti scored to get the monkey off of his back. I think he hadn't scored in 23 games, so that's good, The same goes for Mason Appleton, sitting a career high with 14 goals scored today. That's good, good for him. Congratulations. And Josh Morrissey today also 300 career 50 assists, second time he's done that back-to-back seasons, and his 300th career point in the NHL. These are good milestones. These are good things to take away from a bad game. Now, they have to play well again tomorrow. The fact that they pulled Hellebuck, and this game was not Hellebuck's fault, but the fact that they had to pull Hellebuck and put in Brossoit, I don't know necessarily who starts the next game. Quite frankly, I would put in Brossoit, and it's not because Hellebuck's been bad, but it's because why not? Like when you look at this team's performance as of late, why not? Brossoit is one of the best piece about this team, in my opinion, and the team also has played its most complete games when Brossoit has been in net, because you look at Brossoit's back-to-back shutouts, that necessarily wasn't because Brossoit was fantastic in those games, even though he was very, very good, but it was because of the play of the Jets on 5-on-5 hockey and just in special teams and whatever to keep those offensive chances, having Brossoit to face any of them. And I think that, he's earned that, in my opinion, and I think that it should be a good, better test for the team. Hellebuck, give Hellebuck the night off, because the way the team's playing, why put him in again if you're just going to leave him out to dry, and it's 5-on-1 pretty much the entire time, because I don't really care about that, but some people do, and I don't know, I just think that this whole team needs to just get to their shit together, and it's getting concerning. And I think that the effort that tonight they showed after getting called out after a bad performance against the Devils, again, after playing great, inconsistency within their play, and getting called out for it from the actual players on the team, calling it out, and then this is the response they get. This is the effort. That's my big reason why I'm so upset. And I don't think that the season's in the toilet. I don't think, everything's crap. Nothing like that. This is what this video is about. But this is time to really, it's not time to be like, oh, get them next time. There's no time for excuses at this end of the season. And these are two bad losses against teams that the Jets should have put a much better effort out. If the Jets have lost this game 3-2 because for some reason they had fantastic goaltending and really good play, and it was just an even game analytically, whatever like that goes down, right? I don't think people are that going to be upset if that's the way that these two games go. But they weren't those types of games. They were bad performances with zero effort, and that's why people are upset, and that's why I'm upset. Because if you're going to lose, at least try. The Jets have been god-awful when it comes to that department, and the first time we'd really seen play like this was the game that I was at in Vancouver, and it's kind of been ever since then, it's been a little bit of an up and down slide, you get two steps forward, one step back kind of play that the Jets have had lately, and they're still in this, they still have a chance, but I'm getting nervous, and tomorrow's game against Washington, they gotta show up, you gotta show up and play good hockey in that situation, and you gotta win this game, and if you don't win this game, at least put some effort in. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the last two games, no effort. At least show that you're trying to win the game, for God's sake. Because outside of the last 6 minutes tonight, when the Islanders took their foot off the gas, the Jets finally put some pressure on against a bad team. But at the end of the day, like I said, the 6-3 score, not a good representation of how this game truly was. It should have frankly been 6-1. That Nemestikov goal, count it, whatever. But after that, it doesn't really matter. I'm glad those two players scored to make things, to get, like I said, a career achievement for Appleton, good for you, and then for Appleton getting the monkey off his back, for Feddy getting the monkey off his back, that's great. So at the end of the day, I'm happy that they were able to do that, but they need to play much, much better to have a real chance at winning the Central. So peace, love, and positivity as always at the end of that rant. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and follow other links down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Go Jets, go! And please show up tomorrow.